Hello, dear learners. Welcome back to the JISH Learn English Podcast. I'm Shaylin, and I'm truly happy to have you here with me today. Christmas is such a special time of year. The Christmas celebration brings so much joy and warmth to our hearts. I hope you all had great fun and made wonderful memories with your loved ones. But now that the celebration is over, there is one question you are going to hear everywhere. Whether it is a friend, a neighbor, or a coworker, everyone is going to ask you, "So, how was your Christmas?" Today, we will learn how to answer this question from 4 different scenarios. And here's something very important. When we describe a celebration, a dinner, or a party that is finished, we are talking about the past. So, to tell your story, you must use the past tense. Throughout this lesson, pay close attention to the verbs. We will practice using the past tense naturally so you can sound accurate and confident. Here's how we'll do it. First, we will listen to a short conversation for each scenario. Then I will teach you the useful phrases, the past tense grammar, and the vocabulary from that part. By the end of this lesson, you will be ready to share your holiday stories with the world. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video if you find it helpful. Subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave a comment. I really love reading your feedback, your suggestions, or anything you want to share. All right, let's get started with our first scenario.
Hey, Sam. Good morning. Merry Christmas for yesterday.
Thanks, Julia. You too.
So, I have to ask, how was your Christmas celebration?
It was wonderful, honestly. But it was non-stop. We had 15 people at our house, so I was cooking and cleaning all day, and I am absolutely exhausted now.
Wow, 15 people? That sounds intense. But did you have a good time?
Oh, yes, it was very joyful. Just tiring. What about you? How was your day?
Mine was the complete opposite. It was surprisingly chill. We just stayed home, ate leftovers, and watched movies. It was really peaceful.
That sounds perfect. I think I need a chill day like that today.
All right, so now let's learn some really useful phrases and vocabulary from the conversation you just heard between Julia and Sam. In that scene, Julia and Sam weren't talking about the specific gifts they opened or exactly what they ate. They were talking about the general vibe of their day. And this is actually something you'll do a lot in real life. When a friend asks, "How was your Christmas?" they usually want to know how you felt. They want to know the atmosphere. Was it crazy and loud, or was it quiet and relaxing? So, first things first, what exactly is a vibe? The vibe is the mood or the feeling of a situation. It's the thing you feel in the air, whether the house felt energetic and busy or calm and slow. Every Christmas has its own vibe. Now that you understand that, let's look at the vocabulary used to describe these feelings. Don't worry, I'll keep everything simple and clear. One very common adjective for Christmas, especially for parents or hosts, is non-stop. Sam said it was non-stop. Non-stop means exactly what it sounds like. It didn't stop. It means you were very busy with no breaks. You were cooking, cleaning, talking, and moving all day. You might say, "I didn't sit down once. It was non-stop." Because the day was non-stop, Sam used another strong word, exhausted. He said, "I am absolutely exhausted." Exhausted means very, very tired. Tired is for when you need sleep. Exhausted is for when you have no energy left at all. If you hosted 15 people, you aren't just tired, you are exhausted. On the other hand, Julia had a completely different experience. She used the word chill. She said, "Mine was surprisingly chill." Chill is a casual, informal word that native speakers use all the time. It means relaxed, lazy, and stress-free. If you stayed in your pajamas, watched movies, and didn't worry about anything, you had a chill day. She also used the word peaceful. Peaceful means quiet and calm, with no fighting or loud noise. You could say, it was really nice and peaceful. And finally, Sam used the word joyful. Joyful simply means full of happiness. Even if a day is busy and tiring, it can still be joyful because you are with people you love. So now you have a clear idea of the words you can use. Nonstop for the busy days, exhausted for how you feel after, and chill or peaceful for the relaxing days. All right, now let's look at the grammar and the key phrases you need to build your sentences. This is the part that will help you speak correctly. The most important thing to remember is the past tense. Because Christmas is finished, we are telling a story about the past, so we almost always use the verb was. The sentence structure is very simple. It was plus adjective. Let's go through some useful phrases using this structure. The first phrase is the question itself. How was your Christmas celebration? Use this when you want to ask a friend about their experience. It's a broad, open question that lets them tell you how they felt. The next phrase is for answering. It was wonderful, but non-stop. Use this when you had a good time, but you want to admit that it was hard work. It's a very honest and natural way to answer. You can also replace non-stop with other words we learned. For example, it was really joyful. It was a bit stressful. It was nice and chill. It's that simple. Just change the adjective depending on your vibe. Another helpful phrase is, I am absolutely exhausted. Notice here we use I am, present tense, because you feel tired right now as a result of yesterday. This is a great thing to say to a close friend or neighbor the day after Christmas. And finally, if you want to agree with someone's plan, you can say what Sam said. That sounds perfect. Use this when your friend describes a nice day and you think it sounds like a good idea. Great. Now you know how to describe the overall feeling of your Christmas, whether it was crazy and busy or quiet and chill. These phrases will help you share your emotions naturally. Now, let's move to the next scenario. One of the biggest parts of any celebration is the eating. So in the next conversation, we will learn how to talk about the food.
Hey, Emma. How are you feeling today? Have you recovered from the big day yet?
Barely. Honestly, I'm still stuck on the sofa. I think I'm in a food coma.
I'm not surprised. I know your family loves to cook. What did you guys end up making?
Oh my gosh, Liam, we had a proper feast. My mom went crazy this year. She made a massive roast turkey, a glazed ham, and I think there were about 5 different sides. Mashed potatoes, stuffing, roasted vegetables, everything.
Wow, that sounds incredible. Nothing beats home-cooked meals, right?
Exactly. And that wasn't even the best part. The food was amazing. Lots of sweets and homemade dishes. My aunt brought her famous chocolate cake, and we had so many cookies.
Man, I am so jealous. Was it as good as it sounds?
It was delicious, but I made a mistake. I ate way too much. I had 3 plates of food. I'm definitely skipping breakfast today.
I don't blame you. But hey, do you have food for today?
Oh, are you kidding? We have enough leftovers to last a week. My fridge is completely full.
Lucky you. Well, enjoy round 2 today.
All right, so now let's learn some really useful phrases and vocabulary from the conversation you just heard. In that scene, Liam and Emma were talking about food, and this is actually something you'll do a lot in real life. After any big celebration, the first thing people want to know is, what did you eat? Food connects us. It brings families together. So, first things first, what exactly is a feast? Emma said, we had a proper feast.
A feast is not just a normal dinner. It is a large, special meal with many different dishes on the table. It's the kind of meal where the table is completely full. She also mentioned sides. Sides is short for side dishes. In a big meal, you usually have one main meat, like turkey or chicken. Everything else, the potatoes, the salad, the vegetables, are the sides. And then there is leftovers. Leftovers refers to the food that remains after the meal is finished. If you cook a giant turkey and you don't eat it all, the food you put in the fridge is called leftovers. Now, I want to stop for a moment and explain a very important grammar point. In the conversation, you heard Emma say, "We had a proper feast," and later she said, "We had about 5 different sides." You might be wondering, Shaylin, why did she use had? Why didn't she say, "We ate a feast"? This is a great question. In English, when we talk about meals or specific food items, we very often use the verb to have instead of to eat. We say, "I'm having breakfast," not usually "I'm eating breakfast." We say, "Let's have a coffee," not "let's drink a coffee." When we use have, it sounds more natural because it describes the whole experience of the meal, not just the action of chewing and swallowing. So, because we are talking about the past, yesterday, have changes to had. So you have 2 choices. Use ate when you want to focus on the action, "I ate too much." Use had when you want to focus on the meal or the menu. "We had turkey." "We had cake." "We had a feast." It sounds much softer and more natural to say, "We had a lovely dinner," than "We ate a lovely dinner. All right, now let's learn some very helpful phrases you can use based on this rule. Let's go through them one by one. The first phrase is, "What did you end up making?" Use this question when you want to ask a friend about their menu. The next phrase uses our new grammar rule. "We had a massive turkey." Remember, use had here to describe the item on your menu. You can replace turkey with anything. "We had biryani." "We had pizza." Another very honest phrase is, "I ate way too much." Here we use ate because we are talking about the physical action of putting too much food in our body. In English, when we say too much, it usually means a negative thing. It means you are uncomfortably full. And finally, "I'm skipping breakfast." Use this when you are not hungry. To skip a meal means you decide not to eat it. Great! Now you understand why we say "we had a feast" instead of "we ate a feast." It's a small change, but it makes you sound very fluent. Now, let's move to the next conversation. Usually, after the big meal, it is time for presents. So in the next scenario, we will learn how to talk about gifts.
So, the big question. Did Santa treat you well this year?
Actually, yes. I was shocked. I finally got those noise-canceling headphones I've been talking about for months.
No way! That is a huge win. You must be happy.
I am. I'm using them already. What about you? Did you get anything nice?
It was pretty standard stuff, honestly. I got some new clothes, lots of socks, and a coffee maker. Mostly practical things.
Hey, practical is good. I love getting socks.
Yeah, I can't complain. But honestly, the best part was the Secret Santa exchange we did with the cousins. It was absolutely hilarious. Someone got a giant fish pillow.
That sounds amazing. We just sat around, opened presents, and played board games all night. It was really fun.
All right, let's move on to the most exciting part of Christmas for many people, the gifts. In that conversation, Sam and Alex were talking about what they unwrapped yesterday. This is a very common topic. Even if you are an adult, friends love to ask, "What did you get?" So let's look at the vocabulary they used, because there are some very special phrases we only use at this time of year. First, Sam asked a fun question. Did Santa treat you well? Now, obviously, we know that Santa Claus is for children, but in English, adults often use this phrase as a joke with their friends. It is an idiom that simply means, did you get good gifts, or did you have a good outcome? If you are happy with your presents, you can answer, yes, Santa treated me very well. Next, Sam mentioned a specific game, Secret Santa. He said the best part was the Secret Santa exchange. Secret Santa is a very popular Western tradition. It is a game where a group of friends or co-workers put their names in a hat. You pick one name and you buy a gift only for that person, but you keep it a secret until they open it. It's fun and it saves money because you don't have to buy gifts for everyone. He also used the word exchange. To exchange means to swap. I give you something and you give me something. We often call the time when we give gifts a gift exchange. Now, let's look at the grammar. This is a small detail, but it is the secret to sounding like a native speaker. I want you to focus on the verb to get. In school or in business emails, you might use the word receive. I received a letter. I received a package. But in casual spoken English, especially when talking to friends about Christmas, receive sounds a bit too formal. It sounds a bit like a robot. Instead, native speakers almost always use got. So, when you talk about your gifts, follow this rule. Don't say, I received headphones. Say, I got headphones. Don't ask, what did you receive? Ask, what did you get? It is simple, fast, and very natural. All right, now let's practice the key phrases using this natural verb. The first phrase is the most common question you can ask anyone. Did you get anything nice? This is a perfect question. It is polite, and it gives the other person a chance to talk about their favorite gift. To answer, you can use the phrase Sam used. It was pretty standard stuff. Standard means normal or expected. Use this if you got socks, chocolate, or clothes. Useful things, but not a big surprise. Or you can use Alex's phrase, I finally got the headphones I wanted. Notice the structure. I got plus the object. And finally, to describe the activity, Alex said, we opened presents. Notice the verb opened. We don't usually say we unpacked presents. We almost always say opened. So remember, if you want to be funny, ask if Santa treated them well. When you list your gifts, say, I got. And if you want to play a fun game next year, suggest a Secret Santa. Great job! Now we have covered feelings, food, and gifts. But there is one more scenario left. For many people, Christmas is about the people, the guests, the family, and sometimes the chaos. Let's move to our final conversation.
Hey, Ben, you hosted Christmas dinner this year, right? Did the whole family come over?
Yes, everyone and their dog, literally. There were about 15 people crammed into my living room. It was crazy.
Oh, wow, 15 people? How was the chaos?
It was loud. My nephews were running around screaming. But honestly, I spent it with my family, so it felt very warm and special. It was nice to have everyone together.
That sounds lovely. But are you tired?
Exhausted. They all left last night, so today is officially cleaning day.
All right, so now let's learn some really useful phrases and vocabulary from that final conversation. In that scene, Lisa and Ben were talking about the most important part of the celebration, the people. When someone asks, "How was your Christmas?" they often want to know who you were with. Did you stay alone? Did you visit friends? Or was your house full of relatives? So, first things first, let's look at the word hosted. Lisa asked, "You hosted this year, right?" To host means that the party happened at your house. You were the one cooking, cleaning, and inviting people. It is a big responsibility. So if the party was at your home, you can simply say, "I hosted Christmas this year." Next, Ben used a very funny English idiom to describe how many people were there. He said, "Everyone and their dog came over." Now, please don't take this literally. It doesn't mean every guest brought a pet dog. Everyone and their dog is a humorous way to say everybody. It means a lot of people showed up. Cousins, neighbors, distant relatives. It's a great phrase to use when a place is very crowded. Because there were so many people, Ben used the word crammed. He said, 15 people were crammed into my living room. To be crammed means to be packed tightly into a small space. Imagine a suitcase that is too full. It is crammed. If your house felt small because there were too many people, you can say, "We were crammed in there." But even though it was crowded, Ben described the feeling as warm. He said, "It felt very warm." In this context, warm is not about the temperature. It describes the emotion. It means the atmosphere was full of love, kindness, and connection. You can say, "I spent it with my family, so it felt very warm." Now let's look at the grammar. This is really important when you talk about where you celebrated. We need to understand the difference between two phrasal verbs, came over and went to. It is all about the direction of the travel. 1. Came over. Use this when people traveled towards you, to your house. If you hosted the party, the guests came to you. So you say, "My family came over. My friends came over for dinner." 2. Went to. Use this when you travel away to someone else's house. If you were a guest, you say, "I went to my mom's house. We went to my brother's place." So simply ask yourself, did they come to me or did I go to them? All right, let's practice the key phrases using these rules. Let's go through them one by one. The first phrase is, "Did the whole family come over?" Use this question to ask if someone hosted the party at their place. The next phrase is a beautiful way to answer. "I spent it with my family." The verb spent refers to how you used your time. You can change the end of the sentence to fit your situation. I spent it with friends. I spent it alone. I spent it with my partner. And finally, if you want to describe a busy but happy home, use Ben's sentence. It was nice to have everyone together. This is a very positive way to end your story, even if the kids were screaming and the house was messy. Great! Now you know how to explain who you were with, whether you hosted a crowd or went to a quiet dinner. So we have covered today everything you need to describe your celebration. Now I will share with you how my Christmas was. I will share mine using the 4 scenarios we discussed today, so listen closely to the words we just learned. Honestly, my Christmas celebration was surprisingly chill. It wasn't non-stop or stressful at all. I didn't host this year. Instead, I went to my parents' house. We didn't have everyone and their dog over. It was just the immediate family, so we weren't crammed in the living room. It felt very warm and peaceful. But even though it was quiet, we definitely had a feast. We had a massive roast chicken, mashed potatoes, and about 4 different sides. I confess that I ate way too much, and I am actually eating leftovers for lunch today. And finally, regarding gifts, I think Santa treated me well. I didn't get anything crazy, but I got a beautiful new journal and some cozy socks, which is exactly what I wanted. We just sat around, opened presents, and enjoyed the time together. So now it's your turn. Share with us how your Christmas was. We would love to hear from you all. Use the structure I taught you. Tell me if you hosted or went to a friend's house. Tell me if you got something nice or if you ate too much. Write your story down in the comments below. If you liked today's episode and learned something from it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your family and friends. I will come tomorrow with another episode. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.